Hey everyone, welcome back to the vlog. Just want to clarify a couple of things regarding comments I received about my vlog about petrol and diesel. So we'll start with Mike. And Mike, you're absolutely right. When you buy red diesel, you're supposed to declare how much of that diesel you're using for heating and or propulsion. If you use solely for propulsion, you're supposed to pay the extra duty, the extra excise. However, I've never known a boater who's got a diesel engine who's ever declared 100% use for propulsion. Even though they actually use it for propulsion, they often declare it solely for heating. And this is where abuse of the system comes into play, and it's not really enforced. Honest boaters will do a split. They'll do a 60-40 split, 60 for heating, 40 for propulsion, etc. But most boaters I've ever met declare 100% for heating, even though they use that diesel for sole propulsion purposes. That said, I don't see that remaining for too much longer. I think once we leave the EU over the coming years, I reckon that'll all change, because I've never heard of a government who's not prepared to get as much bloody money from taxpayers as they can. But I guess we'll have to watch this space. I mean, we're only talking 20,000-30,000 boats as opposed to several million cars. So I don't know if the extra legislation or the extra palaver of going through to change the law will be worth it. But you never know. Like I said, I've never heard of a government who's not willing to get as much money as they can from taxpayers. So we'll see. And just in relation to Scott regarding petrol storage, I think it's a great idea, Scott, having an extra outdoor gas compartment, sealed and secured compartment. My biggest issue is space. Now, I had thought about putting a compartment on the back here. The issue with that is, now it looks like I've got a lot of space, and I do actually have quite a lot of space in the back there. My biggest issue with that, though, I still need to get access to my ropes. I still use this space to walk over to get access to the other side of the boat when I take the chimney off, that sort of thing. And also, if I get my engine serviced by an engineer, and this has happened with River Canal Rescue, they've actually leant over, they've placed themselves on top, face down, and leant over to service the engine from the top. So I do like to kind of keep that area clean. Now I know that I'm going against boat safety regulations by storing the petrol cans inside the boat, but honestly, I feel 100% safe. It's only a small amount of fuel. They are in sealed containers. They're low down in the cabin, away from anything combustible. In fact, I'm actually more concerned about petrol fumes entering the cabin space. So down here, you'll see a little trapdoor. It's that green area there. There's a little trapdoor there. When I open that up, that's how I get access to the engine to, start the engine. Just beyond that is what I call the engine bay, and that's where the actual fuel tank is kept. Beyond that is a wall with another trapdoor, which is all sealed, but that enters into the main cabin. So whenever I start my engine, I've always had a hard and fast rule about always ensuring that my fire is out whenever I go anywhere near that engine. Because you just don't know. I don't want to take the risk of leaving the stove on and opening up that engine bay. That said, I have had an experience. When I first bought the boat, I did actually refuel the tank inside the boat, and petrol fumes got out and it just filled the whole cabin up. At that point, I didn't have the stove installed, so it wasn't a major issue. It just stunk the place out. And that actually leads me to the other point, where boat safety actually recommends you refill on the towpath. So again, with that in mind, whenever I need to refuel, again, I make sure the stove's out, unplug the fuel tank, bring it onto the towpath and refuel that way. But that's one thing I'm kind of envious about a narrowboat. For this one example, he's got a stove in the main cabin there, and also one at the back, being a traditional narrowboat. That means that they can leave their stoves running while they're cruising. I don't really have that luxury. It's not a major issue. I mean, being such a small boat, the cabin's really small. It doesn't take really that long to heat up the cabin. It's a bit uncomfortable at times when I have really, really cold days, but it's not a major issue. But it is something I'm looking forward to when I get my narrowboat.